morning. I was watching an article about how moms right now are having a tough time with the kids being at home. And my girls are grown, but it brought me back to when they were being raised, when they were at home, especially when they were little. It could get tough sometimes. And of course, we never had the COVID to deal with, but we had other challenges that, like we had power outages, where we had to deal with really dark nights. One of my girls was super scared of the dark when she was real little. Brave as heck with everything else, but when it came to the dark, she was scared as heck. But, there were some birds fighting in the road. I didn't want to run them over. One of the things that really helped me out when I was raising my girls, or when Sean and I both were raising our girls, was I had a lot of people in my life that were really good at loving. And I would go. Now my mom, she had an aneurysm, so I really couldn't go to her, and because she couldn't talk or communicate at all for many years of my children's life until she passed away. But my mother-in-law was always there, and I would go to her and I would complain, the house is always a wreck and blah blah blah. And she said, my house didn't get clean until my kids grew up and moved away. And which seems like it did give me a little bit of peace there, but in reality, when your house is dirty, it drives you nuts. But there were little things that I learned from other people that helped me out. One lady who had almost raised her daughter and got pregnant again, and then almost raised those daughters and got pregnant again, gave me really good advice. She gave me this little poem about, don't worry about the clutter, worry about missing your kids growing up, and so to pay attention to that part of it. Your house, straighten it up at best. Do the deep cleaning once or twice a year. Truly, that's literally true. I knew a lady who had a couple, before I had kids, she had a couple of little boys, and we had our Bible studies at her house, and it was immaculate, like not just straightened up, but immaculate, not a speck of dust. And I was like, wow, you're amazing. And when I did get pregnant, she confessed, not just to me, but to a car full of ladies, how she could be really mean when it came time to clean. And she didn't like herself. And her boys, she could see the fear and the walking on eggshells that her boys would do when she would clean. And she said, that's not normal. Little boys are rough, tumble, and they're messy, and mine aren't. And she knew, and she knew it was because of the way she treated them, because she feared what other people would say about her home if they came over and it was dirty. Who cannot relate to that? But she knew, and they were real little, so hopefully by her admitting that, she was able to overcome it. Sean and I eventually kind of went away from that Bible study, so I really don't know what happened with their family. I would hope that by her confessing that she realized, this is not right. I can't keep being this way with my kids. And who cares if I got dust in my house? And literally no dust in her house. And she had these two little boys that were the cutest little things, but even their room, immaculate. It blew my mind. But anyway, the point of this whole thing is all these moms are out there, frustrated about this new way of living. They've got like this new temporary normal. And a year from now, 10 years from now, you're going to look back on this, and how do you want to remember it? Do you want to remember it that you were screaming at your kids to get the house clean, stop making messes, Because right now what else is there to do but make a mess, really? And they're going to be cutting and making projects, and there's going to be little bits of paper and stuck on glue and different things like that. It's just a reality. And the sooner you accept it, that it's a reality, that your house is going to be messy for, I don't know, probably till Christmas, and then it's going to be messy again because of that. Just accept it, that's the reality, and then straighten up. A friend of mine gave me a really good piece of advice about straightening up. She said, take a basket and just walk around your house and just take your arm and shove everything in off the counter, off the table, whatever, into that basket, and sort it out later. Because your peace of mind of seeing a clean area is more important than putting everything back exactly where it belongs. And that was such a good piece of advice. I've done it several times. And then eventually, eventually is months away, I will go back to that basket and sort it all out. So putting it all back in its perfect place wasn't all that important to begin with. I needed it that one time. It got left out on a table, got put in a basket, and months later I needed it again. I knew where it was. It just wasn't where it should have been. So, also, you have to be resourceful during this time. And so if whether you're married or a single parent, it's going to be hard no matter what. So you have to be resourceful, and we have resources all around us. We've got people that we can have play dates with, and I know they say don't let your kids play with other kids right now, but your sanity, truly, if your kid gets sick, they're going to get sick. They're going to be fine. Do what you think is best, ultimately. If you're really freaking out about the COVID thing, then yeah, let your kids play at home. But use some resources. Let them see some educational shows. Let them do some crafts. Let them go outside and play. There's nothing wrong with going outside. As a matter of fact, the sun is a disinfectant, so it would kill the coronavirus on their clothes anyway if they had it. But, use alone time too. You're crowded in this house. There's nothing wrong with having reading time where no one talks or makes any noise for a couple hours. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's your time that you can just veg out, read a book, do nothing, watch a show or exercise, go on a walk, do something. I don't know, I'm driving, so I can't think of everything, but you get the picture. Use your resources. Call a friend. Learn how to do Sudoku. That's one thing I've been wanting to learn. But anyway, don't be so worried about everything, and don't let things get on your nerves all the time. Because you're going to remember this time, and you want to remember that you were at your best, not at your worst. And then, write in your journal how the days are going. And, whenever something bad happens, talk about what you did to recognize it and then overcome it. And make this time, instead of the worst time, the best time of your life. How many parents have the opportunity to spend this much time with their kids? And it's a short and temporary time. It's going to go away pretty quick here. And your kids will be back at school, you'll be back at work, and everything's going to be back to normal again. And this is a great opportunity to love on your kids, love on your family, have them do crafts for people who can't be visited by their family. And talk about how important it is to make people feel loved and appreciated and seen and known that they're there. Because could you imagine being in an old folks home and it's hard enough to get your family to visit you, and now they're not allowed. I mean, oh my gosh, that must be horrible. And then you die alone a lot of times too. So, so that's my message today. Don't worry about the stuff that really doesn't matter. You know, like even schoolwork really doesn't matter right now. Quite honestly, they're not going to go stupid for, you know, not having the last couple of months of school. So don't even worry about it. They'll be fine. Worry about the stuff that matters, like love and faith and patience, your spirituality, your relationship with God. You know, maybe you've been too busy to even focus on that, and that's super important. Your kids need to know that. They need a relationship with God. So, all right, that's all I got for today. Love you guys. Go tell somebody you love them, and go make it a great day.